Imagine waking up to discover that your life as you know it has changed forever. At first, the thought of gaining extraordinary powers might seem like a dream come true, an escape from the mundane, and a getaway to unimaginable possibilities. But as the novelty wears off, the cracks begins to show. Those powers you've always fantasized about, they are not just a gift, a mirror reflecting parts of yourself you'd rather not face. Welcome to a world where ordinary lives collide with the extraordinary abilities, where the very fabric of human nature is tested. A series that dives deep into the challenges of wielding superhuman powers. Far from the bright, optimistic tales we often associate with such abilities, Heroes peels back the layers, revealing the struggle, sacrifice, and moral dilemmas that comes with extraordinary gifts. Today we're unraveling the themes and questions that Heroes dares to ask. How do powers reshape identity? Can someone truly remain ordinary in the face of the extraordinary? And most importantly, what does it mean to choose between being a hero or succumbing to darkness? If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and check out my other videos after this one. And now, without further ado, let's explore Heroes. Chapter 1. Ordinary People Discovering Powers. Imagine having powers that only exist in fiction. Most of us have probably imagined this at least once in our lives. But what if that wish actually came true? Would those powers improve your life or complicate it in ways you've never expected? In this series, characters wrestle with that very question as they transform from the ordinary people into individuals with extraordinary powers. But what we might picture as a bright, empowering experience doesn't always align with the reality. In fact, these powers could just as easily feel like a curse. Depending on the character's personalities and life circumstances, their powers might consume them, leading them to heroism or villainy. Ultimately, it all comes down to how they use their newfound gifts. Some characters strive to use their ability for good, while others may find that even the best intentions are affected by their personal struggles. Take telepathy for instance. Overhearing people's thoughts could shatter a relationship or become addictive, as they're drawn to know everyone's unfiltered opinions. And for those who can constantly regenerate, how will you live on knowing you cannot be killed? Will your dark desires take over and lead you to commit acts that would be remembered in history, but not in a positive way? For those who can see the future, every vision carries a moral dilemma. Should they intervene and alter an ominous outcome, or stand by and let events unfold? The series delves into these questions, revealing the real challenges that comes with wielding powers. It doesn't shy away from exposing the darker, more complex side of superhuman abilities. In the end, these powers reveals who each character truly is. Will they use their gift for good, or let the darkness take over? Will they make choices so extreme that they cannot face their own reflection? Chapter 2. Question to live an ordinary life or not. One can draw a fundamental question about living an ordinary and mundane life when witnessing characters in the series suddenly unlock abilities of extraordinary standards. These abilities now separates them from everyone else in the world. The ordinary lives they once built are now over. Looking closer, this sudden break from normalcy can feel dark. Imagine knowing that the life you spent years building is now thrown away as you try to learn who you are as this new person with abilities that affects every part of your life. For some who may have felt their lives were too boring, this new power might seem like a welcome escape, and they embrace their gift, setting new expectations for themselves. In contrast, others resist the change, trying and often failing to control their abilities to hold on to the life they once had. This internal conflict between trying to live an ordinary life and embracing their new powers become a struggle for many characters in the series. Some who were once content with the direction of their lives now suffer, forced to accept that things will never be the same again. This dark, looming realization that life will never return to what it was becomes a major source of stress for some characters, pushing them to use their abilities in ways their former selves would never have imagined. It creates an interesting parallel with the viewers who may have once wished for special powers themselves. Would getting that wish be a blessing, or would it be a curse? Chapter 3. The Future versus what will actually happen. As human beings, it has become more natural than ever to look into the future and wonder what might happen 10 years from now, or even tomorrow. Yet the future we imagine is never a concrete roadmap. It's a fluid vision that can be altered at any moment. The series explores this concept through the unique challenges that arises from the powers that the characters gain. While these abilities create their own sets of problems, they also open a window to one of the show's core themes, the uncertain nature of the future. Among these characters are those who can paint scenes of potential future and others who can control time and space. The series portrays many possible futures, most of which are bleak, especially if a series of events orchestrated from the shadows by the villains comes to pass. Viewers are shown numerous potential outcomes of future, one where New York is destroyed in an explosion, or where the world is plunged into quarantine as a deadly virus is released. Another timeline reveals a dystopia, where the public discovery of gifted individuals leads to synthetic powers, and eventually a society verging on slavery. These potential realities reveal how rigid the future is. Those who discover the paintings of the possible futures starts to be more cautious of every decision they make. And those characters who can travel to this dystopian timeline witnesses firsthand dire consequences if they fail. The pressure to find a hopeful resolution becomes a heavy burden for those who consider themselves heroes. It delivers a powerful message to the viewers. The future is never written. It's shaped by countless moments and choices along the way. Chapter 4: Global Phenomenon. The narrative device where all central events happens in a single location often serves as a shortcut to avoid expanding the story's scope. It leaves viewers wondering what might be happening beyond the borders of the central setting. This is especially true when the story involves people with unique abilities. Viewers might naturally be curious about whether others worldwide might share these powers as well. This is where Heroes stands out. The series doesn't just focus on one single location or culture. It incorporates a wide range of characters from diverse backgrounds, including individuals from India and Japan. By representing these cultures, Heroes brings an inclusive depth and makes it feel ahead of its time. For example, characters like Hiro and Ando, who are Japanese, speaks in Japanese with English subtitles provided for the viewers. This choice adds a layer of authenticity that would be lost if they spoke only in English. And when Dr. Suresh is in India, the costumes and setting accurately reflects the culture, adding the show's depth. Heroes goes to a great length to portray non-US settings faithfully. When we see Hiro in Tokyo, or even in feudal Kyoto, each scene is carefully crafted to reflect the time and place, adding a level of detail that many other series might overlook. Though the series centers on people discovering and grappling with new powers, Heroes takes it a step further by showing that this phenomenon has a global reach, adding a profound impact to its storytelling. Chapter 5: The Ending. What does it truly mean to have powers? Many of us have fantasized about it, a way to escape the ordinary, bending reality to our will and perhaps making a difference. But Heroes pulls the curtain on this fantasy, exposing the complexities and the personal challenges that comes with such a gift. Gaining powers isn't a golden ticket to happiness or control. Rather, these powers amplify who you are, testing the very core of your nature. For the characters in the series, power becomes a mirror that forces them to confront their truest selves. Are they resilient enough to face the sacrifices of being a hero, or do they fall prey to the dark impulses we carry? Across the series' 5 chapters, we see that power don't define these individuals as heroes, they simply reveal them. Characters like Siler and Nathan show how power can corrupt and consume. Siler's quest for understanding each mechanics that comes with each power leads him down a dark path, though he later seeks redemption, while Nathan, through the complexities of his past, his powers, and alongside his political aspiration, turns him against the person we, as the audience, thought he once was. Meanwhile, Peter and Hiro, who begins with a simple desire to do good, demonstrates how power can shine a light on innate heroism. The series reveals that these abilities don't create heroes, they just reveal the potential within them. Abilities magnify the choice, desire, and the flaw already dormant within each character, waiting to surface. Ultimately, the series challenges us to think about the powers in our lives. We may not have supernatural abilities, but we have influences over our actions, shaping whether we become heroes or villains in our own story. As the series draws to a close, it leaves us with one final complex question. How will the world react to those powers? Claire's decision to reveal superpowered individuals to the public opens a floodgate of questions, leaving us to ponder our own capability for acceptance or fear of the extraordinary. Epilogue: Legacy and Persecution. After Claire's bold decision to reveal the existence of powered individuals to the world, viewers are left questioning how this choice might impact the society and the lives of those with extraordinary abilities. After 5 years of questioning the consequences, this pivotal moment marks a shift in societal perception, initiating a complex journey of acceptance and fear towards the powered community. While Heroes Reborn wasn't as celebrated as the original series, it introduced a nuanced world where initially people with powers experienced a period of acceptance. However, this tolerance proves fleeting, as the powered individual soon faces severe persecution, marking one of the darkest times in their history. The show explores the challenges and hostility they encounter as society's initial acceptance devolves into fear. Once admired as extraordinary, these powered individuals are now viewed as threats. Mass propaganda campaigns fuel public fear, manipulating communities to support the persecution of the gifted. This manipulation leads to a culture where revealing one's power intentionally or accidentally could result in dire consequences, including being hunted or killed. Behind this shift is a shadowy faction orchestrating the season's central conflict, promoting a vision of new society free from the threats they claim powered individuals represent. Even so, amidst this turmoil, legacy characters like Noah and Hero, along with the next generation, including Micah, Molly, and newly introduced powered allies, join forces. Together, they work to heal a fractured world, striving to uphold the visions of tolerance and acceptance that Claire championed for when she first exposed her gift. In the end, Heroes gives us a new meaning towards Uncle Ben's advice to Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon in the next review episode.